Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tea Time with Liz. Come on in. Go ahead and share if you can. If you are tuning in on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can always tune in to Tea Time with Liz. I am the host. I am the founder of Tea Time with Liz, your girl Liz. So we thank you for joining us tonight. If this is your first time, let us know where you are tuning in from. And I want to shout out to all the replay players as well. Thank you for watching the replay. We thank you for your love and support. I am super, super excited for tonight's conversation. We are in our third season. Whoop, whoop. And I am super, super excited because we are talking about worth in various areas. We are just getting the ball rolling. And so last week, or I shouldn't say last week, our last episode, we talked about how it feels to be good enough. Sometimes we don't see our own value, we don't see our own worth. And I use Leah as an example out of the Bible because we are definitely a Christian base. Platform. So, I'm definitely going to reference the Bible. So, tonight we are going to talk about what I call the pretty girl syndrome. Okay. So, this is going to be some good tea. I did a lot of research. For this episode as well, and it was very, very, very eye opening. So, like I said, go ahead, share, get your tea, get your water, get your notebooks, whatever you want, but we are going to definitely get into it. Before I do, though, just one good announcement is our next episode on the 22nd. So every first and third Monday, you will catch us here live. And my next episode, I will actually have my first guest for the year or for the season. Her name is Cece, she goes by Coach Cece. So me and her are going to actually wrap up what we've been talking about as far as being good enough and like I said, this pretty girl syndrome and just how that connects for us as women, because we do struggle sometimes with each other. So I'm super, super excited to have her next episode, so be sure to stay tuned for that. I hope you all are enjoying all the affirmations that we are sending out every week. This week you will hear it. Actually, you will hear the affirmation. It's a quote from Pastor John Hanna, and I thought it was a great quote. So definitely go back to the page or to our IG and check that affirmation out for the week. All right. Um, all right, so let's get into it tonight. Like I said, tonight we're going to talk about the pretty girl syndrome. All right. And you're probably like, what in the world? It's something I made up. So, don't come for me in the comments. But what I mean by that is that a lot of times, as what society classify as beautiful or pretty, they tend to have a demeanor, or they have a statistic about them. And that's not even the word I'm trying to find. They have a stigma, let's say it that way, about them, right? That society thinks that pretty girls are, uppity, they're, can't be touched. A lot of times, from what I've heard from other guys, is that, some pretty girls have really bad attitudes, can be very, like I said, stank. Let's just put it that way. And so it just it definitely correlates to what a syndrome is, because when you look at the word syndrome, it means a type of, or several types of issues or things that can correlate from a disease or a cause of dysfunction. Okay. And so and so as I continue to research this, and what really sparked this was not only my biblical reference about Leah and Rachel, but I don't know if there's any of you viewers out there tonight who have been watching Love is Blind. But there is one particular girl on that season two who thinks her stuff don't stink. She thinks she is the cream of the crop, like she is that pretty girl. But the whole I guess, objective of that show is that she cannot be seen because they only can communicate and make the decision off of communication. And so she is, I feel like she struggled in that season or in that show because she couldn't flaunt her beauty. And so, a lot of times, women, yes, Shayna, you already know. I didn't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it because it's a whole deal. All right, but if you haven't seen it, definitely go check out Love Is Blind. All right, but like I said, she wasn't the only one. She sparked this, but as I began to do more research, I just really Googled or researched some YouTube videos, and there were two videos I really looked at, and I can send those if you want to look at them. But in to sum it up, one girl she said how I got some things in life from her beauty. And she starts to go through her YouTube channel and talk about her on her episode about how all these things she's received in her home. I mean, she got dining room tables, she got a whole furnished bathroom, her rent's been paid. I mean, she said she can go to the gas pump and people will take care of her gas for her. She said that her boss confessed and told her the only reason why she got the job was because she was pretty. And this is not a bash against pretty women at all. I consider myself a pretty decent looking woman. And but the thing is that there's a tug of war, right? Because you are beautiful, and yes, there are ways that you have some advantages, or you tend to be blessed, I say. um, but is it in the right way, right? And so you have this gift, right, that the Lord has given you. But on the other hand, a lot of times it can be very hard to deal with, because why? That's all people will see. That's all people will know. They see your outer. They never take the time to see what your heart says, to see how you are as a person. And I've come to realize that is why some pretty women do have that demeanor of coldness, of I don't want to talk to you, or I'm not gonna waste my time basically with you, because I know what you want is just to be next to me, be around me, or whatever the case may be. You just using me basically, and I will pick and choose if I want you to or not. And so that's what kind of I got from the first episode. Her first video I watched was this girl talking about how she got all these things. Like, I wish somebody would pay my rent. But that isn't the gifting. That's not the purpose of why you should be beautiful. And I, because I've seen both sides. I really consider myself, if we really want to go back to last time's episode, I consider myself more as a Leah. I consider myself not good enough. And but I've grown to be considered a beautiful woman. I've now begun to see and I have opened my eyes to see what I truly possess, right? But now, how do you handle that? How do I not get this pretty girl syndrome? How do I not take advantage of innocent people who really, in a sense, really have low self esteem themselves? That is why they're trying to buy you. That's why they're trying to give you all these things, is because they don't feel good about themselves. They don't feel that their personality, or even the way they present themselves, is enough. and to see that they can catch somebody of beauty within and without on the outside is basically what I'm saying. So like I said, let's talk about this pretty girl syndrome just even more. Okay, so like I said, that video, she talked about all the things she could get. Now the other video, she said she talked about all the issues she's had as a pretty woman. Once again, one of them being, she says a lot of attraction. She has too many guys coming for her. She don't know how to manage all the attention. Attention, let's not lie, we all love it, okay? We love the attention because that's why we are on social media. We like the likes, we like the love, we like the spotlight, and it feels good. But sometimes having too much, it can be overwhelming, and it can be devastating because you once again have to pick and choose. You have to make some decisions, but that's just part of life. I see it as, but also what you put yourself into. Now, I'm a Christian woman. I present myself as a Christian woman. And so I'm going to be very honest. You shouldn't put yourself out there to to be thirsty, as the world would say. Don't present yourself to be as though you need so many guys for attention, or you need all even social media attention. Because then we know that we have an inner side, we have a issue inside, we have an issue that we need to deal with inside of us, because now we've allowed the outside to really become our god. We've allowed that to fill the voids that we are really not wanting to deal with within. So why are you liking all the attention? What is your sole purpose? What is the intent? I had to even catch my own self, with selfies and posting them. What is my intent of putting out a selfie? Is it for the likes? Is it for the love? Is it for the attention? Is it trying to fill a void that I don't have? Right? Or is it really intent to say, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, and I just want to share my smile with the world? And majority of the time, that is what I do. Because like I said, have been blinded for so long from what God has truly given me in beauty on the outside, that I feel confident enough to display myself. I feel confident enough to share my smile. I know that throughout the years how it has blessed other people. Just even my I have a kind heart anyway, that comes along with it. And so I've learned to know my gifting. I've learned to know how to use it for God's glory. And that's what we have to understand, and that's what we have to also be wise in. Because a lot of us pretty girls out here also are probably single, and we're looking to be found. And we don't want to portray ourselves to be just free. And like I said, this is what the whole season's about. We have to know our worth. We have to know, okay, my worth is very valuable, because you see it on the outside. But what's even better is what's also offered on the inside. And I can't just give everything away. I can't just take advantage of the outside and use somebody for whatever they can give me. But I also have to be wise, because if you really are trying to, like I said, be prepared to be a wife, to be found, that is not a character of a wife. A wife doesn't go around, seeking all the attention and just trying to get things out of people. A wife is already established somewhat. She is actually supposed to be a helpmate. So therefore, you have to get ready to be able to help somebody, not necessarily be the one being helped, right? And I think that's a lot of our issue as women, period. But that's a whole nother episode and a whole nother tea time, okay? We are not gonna get into that. But we have to really take a look, like I said, at why we do the things we do with our beauty. what is our intent, what is our purpose, and to make sure that whatever we are dealing with inside isn't trying to be covered up on the outside, because a lot of times that is what it is. We are covering up what is going on the inside. And so, like I said, I want to use Rachel as an example. I'm going to use the Bible reference real quick. You 29 through chapter 30, you want to read them both. um I'm gonna put it up there again. You'll get Leah and Rachel, they're sisters, but Rachel is the pretty one. Rachel is the pretty sister. And I know we all have, either that one pretty friend, or you are that friend that everybody's like, oh, you're so beautiful, all that, right? And so this was Rachel's tug of war with her sister. Her sister was the one that actually was trying to be basically Jacob wanted first. And so because she was so beautiful. And as you continue to read, Rachel also was the one that he loved the most. Leah didn't get a lot of attention. Leah didn't get a lot of personal time, but God saw that. And this is one thing I definitely want to connect. It doesn't matter what you look like on the outside or what really matters is what's going on the inside, because God sees your heart. And if God knows that you're walking in pride, you're walking in selfishness and all the above, he's not going to bless you as he would somebody who is humble and meek, who will take honor to what God gives them, and will not take advantage of what God gives them. And he knew that Rachel had that type of attitude. Because why? Everybody's pumped and primed her all her life. Some of us didn't get that affirmation daily, or get that compliments daily from other people. And that's one thing I can definitely say about pretty girls. They are constantly being affirmed. And so when somebody doesn't affirm them, they get offended. They don't like it. And what was going on for Rachel in the Bible, she couldn't have children. And really back then, to have children was basically a woman's purpose. It wasn't degrading. It was really like an honor, right? And so for her not to be able to have children, it frustrated her even the more. She's like, I'm this beautiful woman, my husband loves me, but yet I cannot produce anything. What is the real reason? And she even got so mad and so angry that she attacked her husband. She said, if you don't give me a child, I mean, I'm going to die. Basically, like, you need to figure this out. It's your fault. And that's one other thing. Sometimes beautiful women don't want to see themselves. Let's go back to Love is Blind for a second. That Shayna girl, she did not want to see herself. She wanted to blame everybody else. Because when you see the show, you'll understand. She wanted to blame everybody else on why she didn't get what she wanted, and she played around with somebody else's heart because she knew she could, because she pulled it. And now she was stuck with nothing at the end, basically, is what happened. Sorry, I ruined it, but just go back and watch it, okay? And that is exactly how, like I said, pride and what you think as being better than will do to you. It will only bring you failure in life. It will only bring you down. It will only bring a broken heart at the end of the day. You will constantly be searching and fighting and seeking for that void. And you're not dealing with the true anger inside. The true anger is that you don't know what your purpose is. Your anger is that you're not able to produce like other women are able to produce. You're not able to do the things that other women are able to do. All you have is this beautiful body. All you have is this beautiful face. And I know society has definitely magnified that. They definitely have magnified, like I said, beautiful faces, bottle shaped glass, figures, where people are so desperate to even get surgeries. and customize their bodies so that they will be accepted. But that is not the true intent. What is wrong with what God has given you? So what? It's not like the rest of the world, but what God can do through you, regardless of what you have and what you don't have, is going to be better than you trying to figure it out and do it yourself, because that's exactly what Rachel did. She couldn't have children, so what did she do? She gave her husband her maiden, and she used her to have her children. And I mean, it got so bad to where she even named one of the children after the fight that she's having between her and her sister about having these children, because Leah was, like I said, even though she wasn't picked, she was still producing children. She had majority of Jacob's children all by herself. So that's where we really have to, like I said, take heed that this thing is not about the outside, it's really about the inside. And really, when you figure out the inside and you start begin to walk in that confidence, you walk in the purity and the happiness and the joy and the beauty that's on the inside that God has really created his daughter to be, that it will begin to display on the outside. And I can say that to be true because, like I said, my testimony is that I didn't get a lot of compliments growing up. All I got was like, "You're really tall," you know. And I grew up in a predominantly white area, so there wasn't a lot of women of color around me to say, being tall, being thick, you know, it's okay. That's kind of somewhat the black culture. There's some of us out here like that. I didn't have anybody to reference. All I saw was skinny girls who don't eat, no offense, but really, really skinny girls and, straight hair. And I didn't understand, how to really fit in. And I thought of myself to be ugly because of the atmosphere. It wasn't until I moved out of South Dakota and went to Minnesota and I began to connect with a whole nother culture and began to see that, wow, I am something out here, that I do have something to offer, not only on the inside but on the outside as well. But also on the flip side, like I said, it's like a twofold thing. Like, there's good and there's bad to this thing, right? Because and like I said, that's a whole nother episode. But sometimes, having good hair or being of a lighter complexion begins to you begin to get attacked because of those things. And so you are constantly wrestling, like, okay, well, I can't please this side and I can't please that side, so where do I really stand? I'm frustrated. I just want to be me. And there is no problem with you just being you. You have to just kind of erase what society says. You have to erase what culture says. I'm not saying sitting out here cancel culture, though. I'm just saying you have to really just silence all the distractions, all the negativity that is causing you to feel as though you cannot be you, right? And like I said, you have to be very wise in how you use your beauty, because you do reap what you sow. You out here and you taking and you keep taking. Eventually one day you're gonna have to give. One day you're gonna get sought out. And you just have to be very, like I said, be very wise. I don't think that it's a very good look for women to be that needy. Not to say that we don't need, I'm not saying that you have to be so independent where you don't need, but I'm saying you shouldn't be that needy. You shouldn't be that hungry for luxury, in a sense, because of that. Now, you do what you want to do, you walk the way you want to walk. However, that's just my wisdom and that's just my advice to you on that. But like I said, I just wanted to do a quick tea tonight. Like I said, it's only going to be for a few more minutes, but it is a very deep struggle, and a lot of our girls, younger girls at that, are trying to grow up too fast. They're trying to hit this beauty mark. They're trying to do all these different beauty things. To the point to where you're buying lip balm that increases your lips to have these full lips. I mean, it's even getting back to where people are basically bootlegging surgeries as well, and causing their lives to be taken, or at risk. um, and it's not worth it. It really isn't worth it. And so we have to learn to speak life to everybody. We should not look on the outside. We should definitely be looking at their heart. We should definitely just be looking at that they are just here. God has brought them here. God has allowed them to continue to live. Um, and that we should just speak life to say, whatever your heart's desire, whatever you want to be, whatever you desire to be, go for it. You got it. It's for you. I can use, I mean, granted, it's my son, but it still works. I continue to encourage him. I continue to push him, regardless of the labels that are on him, that he can do anything. He can strive to be anything. And because of that, he is over exceeding in places that they are even shocked themselves. And so I'm grateful for God showing me how to affirm my son, and how it's important that we affirm one another, we affirm ourselves, so that we can deal, like I said, with those low self-esteem places, with those low confident places, because that is that is the key really to succeeding, is having the confidence. I'm not saying pride, I'm saying confidence. A confidence is that you are really unbothered by people's opinion. You can respect it. You can take it with, however you want to take it with, I don't want to say with a grain of salt, but you know how to respectfully take compliments, whether they are good or bad, right? And you can keep moving, and it doesn't shake you, it doesn't stop you. You still wake up still striving to be who you want to be. And that's really how we have to walk. We have to really walk in a confidence that cannot be moved. We have to walk in a confidence that will not be deteriorated. And so that is why really, even this season, that I'm really pushing affirmation every week, because we really got to put it in the atmosphere. We really got to speak it into ourselves to know that we can walk in this confidence. That's what God has given us. Not only has He given us His Spirit to be able to, sustain ourselves from evil, but He's given us His Spirit also to be able, excuse me, to be able to enjoy life as well, right? We are here to fulfill a purpose. And if the enemy can get you in your low self-esteem, if he can get you in your confidence, then he's got you, because you'll never be able to walk through that door. You'll never be able to continue to keep moving and see what's on the other side. You'll never be able to venture out and see what else is there to offer in your life, if you continue to stay in the corner and be comfortable. And it's definitely going to be uncomfortable at times. There's definitely sometimes going to have to be a lonely road, because you'll lose friends. But you'll also gain friends, and gain the right friends at that. And so that is really all I had tonight. Like I said, a quick tea about the pretty girl syndrome, and really want you to see that the pretty girl inside is really what matters, and that's what displays on the outside. We could dress up with all the makeup, we can make ourselves look nice and shiny and presentable, but yet there still is something on the inside that has to match that beauty, and it has to correlate together. Also, I want you to know, even if you don't think of yourself to be beautiful, if you don't think yourself to be worthy enough, you still are. God has gifts and purpose for you, regardless of what society says about you. You are his daughter and he loves you. You are his son and he loves you. I don't want to leave the guys out tonight either. But I just want you to know you are the apple of his eye, and that you have to really find who he truly has called you to be. I'm going to end on this last thing. I'm a whole preacher. You're going to have to forgive me. But what comes to mind is Esther. I want to leave on Esther because when you read about Esther, we always talk about how beautiful she is as well, right? But we really don't talk about it took her a year to be prepared to be the queen. It took her a year to really get all that she needed to get. It wasn't just about her beauty. There also was a character. There also was a wisdom and a stigma that she had to a persona. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. A persona that she had to carry as a queen. And that sometimes takes time. That takes building. That takes being around people who are older and wiser of you than you, excuse me, to be able to show you, okay, honey, this is how you do it, this is the way we should go. Let's try to tone the makeup down. Maybe that's more for a night out with your friends, but we're coming to church, or we're going to a tea. Let's bring it down. There's preparation for it all. But you have to be open. Like I said, you have to be open to those different places and different things that God wants to help you in. So let's walk in who God has called us to be. Let's throw away the pretty girl syndrome. Let's not have to use our beauty to gain things, because you don't have to do all that just to get the things in life. God has it all ready for you. All right. Well, thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed. Go ahead and share this episode with somebody, and we will see you on the 22nd for our next tea time with my dear friend, Miss Cece, as we wrap up the worth concept. All right. We'll talk to you soon.